Back to your comment about the core, what has been really exciting to see is it's actually as capital goes where it's appreciated. But capital drives labor horsepower. And what do I mean by this? For a long time, it was I like how you put it, Robin, like close to core and distant from core. Um, we would only really send like work that was not consequential, like software maintenance, research, um, nothing touching the client, just stuff that would like be leverage. But we've seen a lot of venture capital, private equity money moving across the globe, and what that's created is brand new companies in places like Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Mexico, Colombia, and so this workforce is learning how to evolve from like maintenance work and integration and back office to solving hard problems for their own companies and then recycling that knowledge and then being able to apply that to American and Canadian companies. So their scopes are big, their responsibilities are big, and they understand how to do hard work in high pressure and work of consequence, which puts them much, much closer to the core. And, I'd probably still advise, not to have like your first three or four members of your team, in a different country. I think it's important to be in the same city or same office. But what's really changed is companies used to wait till like employee number 50 to do this. Now you can do this at employee number 5 and you get great returns on investment with very little sacrifice.
Absolutely. In your, like, from where you're running a company, this is, you do this for a living. So who is perhaps your target audience? Like, who's your customers? Is
Yeah,
it small to medium, large corporations in a specific industry?
sure. Yeah, there's really two types, and they need two different things from us. The first is small companies. It could be a tech startup, but it also could be a small agency, financial services firm, just small businesses. And if you're small, every hire matters. Um, and every dollar matters. You're really looking at this, and maybe it's even your own money if you're the founder. And you can't make mistakes, right? So uh, you realize that sometimes if you're, say, offshoring, you have to be very explicit in the instructions and the process, like step by step by step by step, to offshore team members because they have to stick to a very exacting process and script. Um, that's also very time consuming. We think about the cost savings, but we don't think about our own time and kind of managing that process and designing that process. With nearshore, you can often get people with the ability to solve ambiguous problems. Like, hey, you hire this person from Mexico. Can you talk to a few of our customers and then design a customer service process and script? They can do that. Where I think if you offshore, you have to do all the heavy lifting and then you hire somebody to work the script. That's a huge difference. So if you're a small company, your dollars will go farther and it's less work for you as the hiring manager, the owner, the founder. The other customer is like that probably mid-market, mid-sized company, and they're looking for optionality and flexibility, but they also want some scale. Like one hire is not going to move the needle for them. They're thinking in terms of teams, 5, 8, 10, 12 people, and so on and so forth. And we can do that too. We can build a team with a lead, with a couple people around them. Doesn't matter if it's technical, maybe it's a sales team, maybe it's a marketing team, call center operations. We can do all that and then give them advice, on based on their budget, based on their team size, based on constraints, getting hardware, all that stuff. Different countries are better than others depending on what they need. Maybe it's Costa Rica, maybe it's Nicaragua, maybe it's Brazil, maybe it's Peru. And all these countries have attributes and positives, and they also have some challenges and constraints. And we'll advise the companies based on what their goals are.